One question that many teachers ask is, so what kind of routine should I set for my classes? So I think to answer that question, right, we need to first know two things. Okay, so the first thing is, what is the purpose of having a routine in the class? So a routine is like a structure of the lesson, the way the lesson is run. And then, so let's say the student enter your class, then they experience this structure. And then they experience the same structure over and over again for every single lesson. Then after some time, right, then they will get used to this way the lesson is run. And then they will become automatic, and then they will know what to do. And then their mind will have the space to think, to focus on the lesson. Also another thing is that when the student go through the routine over and over again, right, they will somehow form a habit. And when they have this habit formation, right, they will develop some kind of values or character, or they will have some mindset shift. This leads us to the next thing that we need to know is then what value, what character, what kind of people that we want our student to become. What is that vision that we have for our class at the end of the year? So for example, if you are the kind of teacher who believes that students should learn to be self-directed, right, then your routine will have to center around this vision, which is to develop the self-directedness of the students. So for example, at the start of the year, maybe you teach your students to how to take out the equipment by themselves, how to set out the playing area, and then you ask the PE rep to organize the class, to mark attendance, and then after a couple of lessons later, right, when the student got used to it, you start to add more roles. For example, each group have a group IC to lead the warm-up, and then a few lessons later, you add more roles like coach, equipment manager, referees, something like the sports education model, where every student will have a role. Then as the student go through these routines, right, they will slowly get used to taking charge of their own learning, leading the groups, leading themselves. And then after some time when they get used to it, then they will become more confident to do things by themselves, to learn by themselves. Then they will become more self-directed. Of course, when I say like that, it sounds very easy. And we must need to understand that student being student, they are young, they may not have the courage to do certain things, to follow certain routines. They may not have the courage to lead their teams, to share ideas in discussion, to even take charge of their own learning. So if we want to set a routine, right, and if we want to maintain this routine, we need to be very persistent. And when we don't see things happening, when we don't see the students following the routine, right, we might even need to gather the whole class to talk to them, to explain to them the rationale of the routine. Why are we having this routine? Because of this vision that I have for the class, that I want you all to practice over and over again until a point where you are so used to it that you're not afraid to help your friends, to be self-directed. So that's why when we want to set routine, right, we need to be very, very clear about what is that vision, what is that end goal that we have at the end of the year. It should not be a mixture of routines where we hear from other teachers. Teachers A tell you this one very good, so we do this. Teacher B tell you another thing. Teacher C tell you another thing. Then we start to mix all the different routines together, and it becomes very messy, and the student don't even know why are we doing all these things. Even we ourselves cannot explain to the students why. When they are not following the routine, we can't explain the why to them. Then they will not want to do it. And then this routine will not be sustainable. So if you want to have routine, right, you better be very sure about the end goal. What is that class that you want to see? And then you must be very focused. And you must always emphasize to the students, why are we doing all these things? Why are we doing the routine? Yeah, until they get the buy-in, until they follow the routine over and over again, then after many tries, many practice, right, you will start to see students develop into the people that you hope to see. And then they will start to see themselves becoming better people.